The woman you're about to hear from might never have found herself in the national spotlight. Michelle Morrow is her name. She wasn't expected to win her Republican primary race to be North Carolina's top public school official. Then last week, in an upset, she did win. And when she did, her extreme and controversial comments began getting attention. Last Friday, CNN's K-File reported that she has, for example, tweeted under her now dormant personal account about wanting to see former President Obama put in front of a firing squad on pay-per-view, saying, quote, "We could make some money back from televising his death." That's just one of a string of social media postings between 2019 and 2021 in which Ms. Morrow made suggestions about executing Obama and other prominent Democrats for treason, including Congresswoman Ilhan Omar, North Carolina Governor Roy Cooper, former New York Governor Andrew Cuomo, Hillary Clinton, Senator Chuck Schumer, and then President-elect Biden. In the Biden tweet, here's how she answered the question, "Will you follow Joe Biden's advice and wear a mask for 100 days? Never," she replies. "We need to follow the Constitution's advice and kill all traitors." Ms. Morrow has also promoted QAnon, tweeting the QAnon slogan, "Where we go one, we go all," multiple times. She also tweeted that the actor Jim Carrey was, quote, "likely searching for adrenochrome," which is a reference to a QAnon conspiracy theory which claims that celebrities harvest the blood and drink the blood of children to prolong their own lives. That's what they believe. In addition to all that, Ms. Morrow, who again is the candidate to be North Carolina's top public school official, has called public schools socialism centers and indoctrination centers. Now, as part of that K-File report, CNN reached out to Morrow and her campaign multiple times to get her side of the story, but received no response. So after publication of the K-File story, Morrow tweeted the following. According to @K-File and @CNN and @CNN Politics, Obama's drone attacks on hundreds of innocent Muslims in Yemen are not treasonous. The insanity of the media demonstrates the need to teach K-12 students real history and critical thinking skills, which, of course, doesn't directly address the multiple social media postings we just listed. So with that in mind, CNN's Shimon Prokupecz went to North Carolina to try and speak with her in person. It took him several days. They finally caught up to her outside a Wake County Republican Party event in Raleigh. Shimon joins us now. So what did she have to say?
Yeah, Anderson, so she went to this GOP convention. It's a local GOP convention in Wake County. There were other elected officials there, including the Lieutenant Governor, Mark Robinson, who himself has had some controversy and has had some controversial statements. And we finally got to speak to her as she was leaving. Take a look at that exchange.
Hi, Ms. Morrow. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing fine.
All right. How did it go in there?
Hey, it went great.
Yeah?
It went great.
You feeling good?
Who are you guys with?
I'm Shimon Prokupecz. I'm with CNN.
Oh, have you been parked in my neighborhood by any chance?
We've been trying to talk to you, yes.
Okay. Well, you can go through my
I understand,
campaign.
but I have you now, so why don't we
Thanks.
talk now?
No need.
Why not? Well, I want to ask you, do you still
it's
stand?
late and we're
I'm
gonna
not
go
talking
home
to you,
now.
ma'am. Do you
Okay.
still stand by your comments about former President Barack Obama and that he should be executed, calling for the death of other presidents? Do you stand by that? Do you stand by those comments?
Have a good night.
Do you
No
stand
problem.
by
Thanks.
what you've said about the public education system and that it needs to be destroyed?
No
Do
comment.
you stand by that?
No comment. No
Do you
comment.
understand the concern that people have
No
with this
comment.
nomination
Hey,
that you
I
now
have a question. Do you vote in North Carolina? Then keep your eyes on your own paper.
Well, let me ask you.
Keep your eyes on your own paper.
I've read papers here too,
Keep your
and the
eyes on your own
concerns that
paper.
people have with your nomination, and the things that you have said.
People in New York have concern over
People
my
all
nomination
across,
in
people
North
all
Carolina.
across the country.
Really? Why
Yes.
are they concerned about North Carolina? Do you know that education is a problem in this entire country? So maybe they need to focus on what's going on in your state of New York, which, by the way, is where I grew up. Maybe they need to focus on what's going on in California, where children are not getting the education that they need. Maybe they need to focus on what they're doing in Michigan. Because right now in North Carolina, I'm focused on helping the families of North Carolina for their children to get quality education, for them to be safe, and for us to be sure that our money is going into the classroom rather than bureaucracies. That's what I've been focusing on. That's what I've been fighting for the last 5 years, going to the General Assembly and dealing with those issues.
Right, but
so that is why I am running.
I understand
So
that, but you
can-
have said such hurtful things too, in terms of the education
I have
system.
to tell you,
about transgender
everyone
students.
is so done with the gotcha moment.
This is not a gotcha. These are your own
This is-
words, ma'am.
this is-
These are your own
this
words.
has nothing
You
to
have
do with
said that
education.
the
How do
former
you know
president.
those are my words?
Because you tweeted. Are those
don't
not your
have-
tweets? Do you deny saying that? You have an opportunity now.
I am
Do you
telling
deny
you.
saying that?
I am
Are
telling
you
you.
denying that you said that in those tweets?
I am telling you
Have you
that I'm going to
have you
discuss
talked
education.
about the indoctrination of children by teachers?
I am telling you.
Have you talked about that? Have you said that about students?
Have you seen any of me going to the school board for the last 5 years? Because you will have my answer.
So, Shimon, clearly she didn't answer your question. She didn't want to talk about the tweets about executing President Obama or Biden. Has Ms. Morrow ever explained her tweets calling for these executions?
Well, no, not exactly. She's deflected a lot. She's tried to suggest, and perhaps like she did to me, that maybe it wasn't even written by her. How do I know? She said to me at one point that it was something that she posted. So she's deflected. She's, of course,
I mean, she could clear that up.
and
She could
doesn't
clear it
wanna
up very simply just by answering the question.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that difficult to do, but you can see there that when I wanted to talk about some of those things that she has said, and they're very hurtful. I mean, there are people in this state who are very concerned about what she has said and just her lack of empathy and understanding in the different issues that affect students and children. And yeah, when you look back at everything she has said, it is very troubling. And she could clear so much of this up. But the bottom line is she's now in a position to get elected to a position where she will be running a school system with 1.5 million students and a massive budget, and then she would just have this, she would have the podium, she would have a place to speak and to say what it is that she is feeling more widely, and that is certainly very concerning to people here, Anderson.
Shimon Prokupecz, thanks very much. Joining us now is Republican strategist and North Carolinian Doug Heye, who recently tweeted, quote, "North Carolina Republicans dump this lunatic." Doug, what does this say about the Republican Party in North Carolina? To an extent, the Republican Party nationwide, that this person is the GOP nominee for such an important job. I mean, do you think voters realized these tweets that she had sent out, the support of QAnon?
No, absolutely not. Look, this was a down ballot race. It wasn't one of the top tier races. Obviously, you had Trump running for president, Mark Robinson running for governor, which are the two marquee races. This is down ballot. It gets fewer votes. It was a low turnout year. About 25% of eligible voters voted in this primary. So I don't think they knew exactly everything that she said. A lot of this has come out since the election. But I see so much of this in every direction, Anderson. This is bad. These are not just appalling statements. These are the worst of the worst statements, calling to assassinate political opponents and so forth. As a former campaign hack myself, having spent a lot of time in Wake County in Raleigh, that's not the state party headquarters on Hillsborough Street. But what I see is bad staffing, allowing your candidate to walk that far with Shimon being able to get every question in that he could. You want to have a car there so you can get your candidate out immediately because and this is problem number 3, you don't have good answers to these questions unless you can just simply say that either you didn't do them, which clearly she did, or what I said was wrong and apologize for it. Unfortunately, in American politics, these days we don't really reward people for standing up and saying that they made a mistake. We don't reward the apologies. That's one of the lessons that Donald Trump sort of taught us in 2016. I was in Wake County, in Raleigh, the day after the Access Hollywood tape came out. And I would have told you that day, Anderson, that there's no way Donald Trump could win. The reality is he did. Now, North Carolina has a lot of close races. This may be one of them. We go back and forth with our politics as far as senators and governors. So she could still win. But we've learned the lesson, and I think this is what she's learning. It's a bad lesson, that maybe if you don't apologize, you can get away with it.
I mean, she also, the whole trafficking in QAnon, talking about adrenochrome, I mean, all of that is based on anti-Jewish, horrible anti-Jewish tropes, which were used by the Nazis about Jews drinking the blood of children. I mean, the idea that this person could be head of the school system in North Carolina it's quite extraordinary.
It's extraordinary. And look, it would be extraordinary if she were also the insurance commissioner candidate or a state senator or basically anybody running for governor. Unfortunately, though, Anderson, in our politics right now, we are so stratified and we've seen the parties go so tribal. It's not even so much red versus blue anymore. It's almost shirts versus skins, that everything that we do in our politics comes down to that sort of existential level. And so,
but
I'm
I mean,
not surprised
if calling for the executions of a former president and a president-elect is not disqualifying for, an elected official in America or running a school system who's talking about teaching the real history. I mean, is there anything that's disqualifying?
Well, I mean, this should be it. And obviously, again, I don't think that the voters, Republican primary voters in that case knew, but this should be a good example for, we have a new RNC chair, Michael Whatley. He's also the state party chair of North Carolina. I've known him for 20 years. Michael, this is a time to stand up and show leadership. This has to be a line that we don't cross, because we've seen political violence against Republican members of Congress, against Democratic congressmen or congresswomen, obviously with Gabby Giffords. We know that this could happen again. This is a time for leadership to stand up and say no.
Doug Heye, appreciate your time tonight. Thank you.
Thank you.